Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. Before I go any further, I must make sure you know who my guest is. Pastor James. Yes? So I've got to behave myself a little bit.
Well, that's what prayer is for, though.
That's what's prayer's for.
Yeah.
Well, actually, tonight, on most Wednesdays, I do go to a Bible study.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I do kind of most Wednesdays.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
So,
That's good.
Is that good?
That's real good.
Am I in the right direction?
Yeah, once a week is good.
Yeah, but twice a week is better.
Well, every day is
well, you're
the
every day.
best.
Well, no, I'm every day.
Okay.
But not in church.
Oh, well.
But I'm every day.
Yeah.
I'm probably more than once a day.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Is that good?
That's excellent.
But it comes kind of naturally because something's happened and I think, So you have a church.
I have a church.
Where's your church?
The name of the church is House of Judah Church.
House of Judah.
And specifically, why I'm so pretty excited about it is because we're opening up a recovery home, Judah Recovery. And what Judah Recovery is answering the issue with homelessness and with substance abuse. So we provide beds and we provide services for them so that they can rejuvenate, recover, and try to live a better life.
Can they stay in as long as they like or as less as they like?
Well, our program is 1 year, but if they need to go beyond that, we can do that.
You can do that.
Yeah.
But if sometimes they only want to stay 2 or 3 nights, can they do that?
We discourage that. Yeah.
The reason I asked that is because I did a program in Los Angeles and it ended up with a lot of people, homeless people, and they had this mission. And a lot of the homeless people did not want to go into the mission.
Yeah.
And I think because they had the same sort of thing. They wanted to stay on the streets.
Yes.
So what is this problem about wanting? Is it the freedom or what is it?
Well, I just think that with the difference in a lot of particular programs that are out there is the quality of care. And see, what we do is not only provide them housing, but then we bring in the church, which shows them the unconditional love and really root for them. You see what I'm saying?
You get to where they're at, sort of. So you become. Do you kind of come interested in who they are?
Interested as an individual, as a person.
Not as a bunch of homeless people.
Exactly.
As a person.
Yes.
So you make them feel like that individual person.
Yes. We do life with them. And see, the model that we have, the mission statement that we have is we help people live better.
And they don't know how.
They don't know how. Some people don't know how.
And is that because of their mental capacity from coming from home, or is that also as well as taking drugs?
It's a mixture of both. It's just really it's really just depending on what their experience was, what the situation is. But we meet them wherever they are, and then we encourage them. We give them services and things like that. We bring them to church. We also bring them to mental health therapists and things like that to really build them up.
Because they all of them have come from a home somewhere.
Yeah.
They've all come from a mother and father or uncle, or whatever the situation.
Yes.
They've all come from. They know what a home life is.
Well, some of them do. Some of them don't.
Because the home life wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, because like right now, there's 30,000 homeless people in the city right now.
I hope there's still not 16,000 children.
It's a lot of mothers, single moms, and children that's laying in the tunnels.
They live in the tunnels. They really live in the tunnels.
Yes.
When you're driving over where these people are.
So they don't know what a home life will be like.
No.
They don't understand.
So when you talk about got you. So you've got the mother with the children. They don't even have a home.
Yeah, they don't have.
So they only know this. So when they grow up and become whatever age, which is probably leaving home now, is probably 13, 14 years old. Because of their lifestyle. So they just leave.
It's very traumatic for them. Yeah, and so they're trying to figure it out from that age. Now, can you imagine trying to figure out from that age?
What? Because they haven't. I don't know what they've got to figure out because they don't even know. They just know that other children, because they go to school. All these kids go to school still.
Yeah,
they try to go to school.
And that's the reason why the kind of care is so important.
Of what you get
and what we do.
Yeah.
See, Judah Recovery, we really focus on
So
the
Judah
care.
Recovery, do you take in mothers and kids?
Our second home, we will be taking mothers and kids.
kids.
Yes.
So you don't at the moment?
Not at the
So
moment.
at the moment you're just taking in
Singles.
just singles at the moment.
Yeah.
Now,
Men and women.
Men and women. Now, I don't know why this is, but there's always seems to be more men than women.
Typically, but in our
changing a little bit.
In our particular situation right now, we're about even.
Same as men and women.
Yeah, men and women, because this is
it never was like that.
Yeah, it's a human problem. This is a humanitarian crisis.
But it was always men that were sort of out there.
Yeah,
now it's not.
it's starting.
Because I always have a bunch of quarters in my car, and if I stop at a light or wherever I see, I'm starting to see a lot of women. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, you should see this.
Yeah, it's really getting bad out there.
It's getting bad.
It's
now,
getting
do you
bad
find a lot of it is drugs, that they've turned to drugs?
A lot of it, well, homelessness and substance abuse go hand in hand.
Yes.
They really do.
Do you see that becoming more prominent?
Very prominent. Very.
Now, actually, after the last 3 or 4 years, or 5 years, that we've been seeing these borders, we've seen a lot of these people coming in, and the drugs are coming in with them.
Yes.
And now it's all sort of coming out.
Well, I mean, just last year, over 100,000 people died just from overdose. And Nevada.
Did you hear that? 100,000 people died from overdose.
Just overdose.
In America.
In America. And Nevada is 6th in America for drug use.
I can understand a little bit because Nevada's a very different place. It's a very sort of open place. It's a place where, nothing happens, nothing is Vegas. A little bit sort of, men, I always say men first, because men can do anything they want, but then you get a lot of the women coming in, giving the men what they want. Yeah. So it's a men and women thing. It's not just,
it's a human. It's definitely
it's a human
problem.
I love how you say the human.
Yeah.
So human can mean anything, which I quite like that. Yeah. Sort of putting it all together. Which now, and I'm disappointed because of it always being more of a man's thing than a woman's thing. A woman is a very different character out there. Yeah. And women want to be like men now, and I don't know if that's working because I'm not going to go there. Put it that way. You probably don't want to go there either.
No, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
It's just that you have to deal with this. So how many beds do you have in your home?
Currently, we have 18 beds.
18 beds?
Yeah.
And where is this place situated?
Well, it's in this more of a suburban area.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, very good.
Just away from the strip, away from everything?
Away from the urban settings.
Yes,
because normally they will have these type of homes inside of an urban setting. And then they will step right outside and see their drug pusher right up the street. Yeah. So now we take them away, bring them more on the outskirts of town, put them in a better house, give them a better quality of life so that they can experience something different.
Now, how long has this been open, or is it just open?
We just opened this year.
We're
super excited about it.
Okay, and how are you full?
Yeah, we're already full, and we're slated for 4 houses this year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just excited about what we're doing, and one of my passions is to really inspire other people to get involved in their community, because this helps us all.
Could you be behind anybody else that would like to build one in their community?
Of course.
Okay, so anybody out there that financially has the money to put into this, and it only has to be, I'm going to say 20 beds, so it only has to be 20 beds, and obviously with a church maybe involved, because would be nice, but they could sort of, come and get involved with your company, and they can do that.
Oh yes, what they can do is get in contact with me. They can reach me on Facebook
Pastor
at James Mitchell, or they can go on my website at judahlv.church and just message me, and then we can connect, and we can really figure some things out together.
So then you've got this, and it can be any part of town, but that doesn't really matter. We've all got cell phones, we've all got phones, we've all got things to communicate with now, so it doesn't really matter where everything is. And if you've already got the platform of how this works, and you've been open a year and it's succeeded for you.
Yes.
Have you had men and women?
Men and women.
And have you had them come back that have actually got jobs out there, have reestablished themselves?
Yes. In fact, we have one success story where this lady was sleeping in the park for 6 months.
Yeah.
She had an alcohol problem, and that drove her to
Who wouldn't
sleeping
in a park?
Yeah, and so we
If you
brought
didn't have
her
an
in.
alcohol problem, you could have one.
We brought her in and
Yeah.
got her a safe place where she a warm, comfortable bed, and she's right now. She was able to reestablish with her family and get income from Social Security because she worked all her life. And
She
so
just
we,
fell through the cracks.
yeah, she just fell through the cracks. And so people need a helping hand. They need a friend. They need more than just like a caseworker. They need a care worker.
They need someone interested in them.
Specifically.
Because there was obviously something was said to her or something happened that made her suddenly change.
Yeah.
She'd been working all those years.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
maybe she was always into alcohol. Who knows?
Yeah,
Alcohol's going to destroy you.
But there were some events in her life that really drove her to that place.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
who don't?
We all have that.
We all go through some situations.
I did yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I went through something yesterday. Believe me, I needed you by my side. Believe me, I'm gonna. But it's okay. I think it's over now. I think everything's okay.
Well, that's
I
good.
hope so.
That's good. That's good. Well, you call me.
If not, I'm going to get you.
Yes, give me a call.
And I'm going to get Rick Moss as well.
Yes.
And between the two of you, we'll sort the problem out.
We'll work it out. Yeah.
We will.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, your next idea, what you've got coming up? Or?
Well, the next project that we have is an all-women's house.
All women.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that we can specifically target domestic violence.
Yes.
And really help them from, and we have a really good all-ladies team that's going to be able to minister to them and care for them and really make them live a better life.
Absolutely.
So I'm super excited about that.
Good.
Long term, we're going to be opening up a community center at the heart, right on Boulder Highway in Eastern next year, and so that we can be right there in the trenches.
Now, you've got people behind you that are
Yeah,
helping you with
yeah,
this.
we have donors and manufacturers, and we have the church that's behind, but it's all privately funded at the moment.
At the moment, it's privately funded, which is pretty cool because that means you can do what you want. Because sometimes when you get government funding, you have to actually go through their way.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes that's not the way you want to go.
Yeah.
So sometimes when it's privately funded, it's really
Yeah,
cool. It's
yeah,
really wonderful.
yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. Amazing story because Vegas really, really needs this a lot. And I gravitate to the children because I had a teenage show for 16 years. Voices of Tomorrow.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I interviewed children, the teenagers of their life. I don't know how many teenagers I saved or helped. I don't know, and I hope I did.
Well,
but,
I mean, this is a generational crisis.
Yes.
Because, the leading cause of death in America is people under age 44 is drug overdose.
Really?
Yes.
Under 44.
Under 44. And you know what
I could say I was under 44.
You know what breaks my heart though?
No, what?
The youngest child that died in Clark County was only 2 hours old. His name was Michael. He died in 2020. He was only 2 hours old. They found meth in his system, and when the autopsy.
Well, that's a good message to put out there.
So it's a generational crisis.
And I don't think it's only not taking drugs while you're pregnant, but also if you plan to have a family, is not to take drugs. I'm thinking at least 2 years before you have a child. At least.
Yeah.
But you don't take drugs at all.
Yeah, let's not take drugs at all.
But if you do take drugs and you want a family, I think I think it would take 2 years for the blood system to change.
For a recovering addict to really get their life back on track, it's 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking if you have a child, your blood is going to go to that child. So that's what I'm saying. Because that child died 2 hours because that child was taking in whatever the mother was taking.
Yes, and see, and the mother was homeless. She was living in the desert, so she couldn't receive the medical help for herself or the child. And so we really have to, as a community, rise up and really.
What are we? What are we anyway? It's not money. Believe me, I've had it and not had it. Believe me, it's nothing to do with money. It's to do with how you put
helping each other.
Helping each other, and how you can get something back to somebody else and maybe something. Yes. I think that's the whole thing. How can they get hold of you again?
Well, if you want to get more information about what we're doing, go to my website. That's judahlv.church, or you can message me on Facebook, James Mitchell, or on Instagram, The People Pastor. And we can connect, and we can take it from there.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much,
Thank you
James.
so much for having me.
So see what we can do and how we can help everybody
Yes,
out there,
awesome.
especially in the situation they're in, especially the heat. You know,
Yeah.
120 is a little bit hot to be out there. So let's have compassion and let's help or whatever. Even if we can give them some water or do something,
Yes.
whatever it may be, the smallest thing can be the biggest thing for them.
Amen.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. We will be right back with our next guest. Take care.
Bye-bye.